Detroit, live from Detroit.
Errol Spence and Terrance Crawford.
Right.
So niggas be like, yo, this fight should have happened years ago. No, the fuck it shouldn't. Why should this fight have happened years ago? Can anybody explain to me why this fight
I don't
should
feel
have?
that way.
Like, nigga, this is the perfect time for this fight to happen.
They're both at the peak.
Not even that.
I think they're both in a good space professionally. Maybe not the peak.
Well, when I say not even that, I'm not trying to say that they're not the peak, but I'm saying that's not the reason that this is the perfect time for the fight.
There's no
to
other
happen.
fights. There's no other super fights brewing.
Not even that, because there are some. But the reason this is the perfect time is these are two of the top fighters in the sports, arguably 1 and 2, and all the belts are on the line. Currently, because Errol Spence just got 3 of the 4 straps. That they would have fought 2 years ago. You had a fight of the fucking decade, and then one of them, whoever won, got to fight somebody else for a belt. What?
Okay.
This is for all the marbles. How could it happen? Now, what Errol Spence said years ago, nigga, I'm gonna clean up my side, you clean up your side, aka you go get all your belts, I go get all my belts, then we can have this big shit. I did all the heavy lifting, nigga. I got 3 belts. You only got 1. And you got that 1 from fighting out.
A weak ass fight.
The fighting, what's the nigga name? You know what? No, that was at 140, matter of fact. But you got 1 fucking title. I got 3. I did all the heavy lifting, my nigga. And I'm the A side. It's not a 50-50 fight.
70-30. I just don't like that number.
And that's being generous, to be perfectly honest with you. That's being generous. This nigga ain't sold.
That was the first number that I thought was 70.
This nigga ain't even sold 300,000 pay-per-views out of all this shit combined. That's fucking crazy, dog. Terrance Crawford, I'm talking about. That's fucking crazy.
He don't sell the
He
fight.
can't sell
He
a
not
fucking
personality.
He can't sell a fucking fight. A ticket outside of Omaha, Nebraska. That's your hometown. Yes, you can pack that bitch out. You and Warren Buffett in that motherfucker. Warren Buffett go to his fights, whole 9 yards. But how the fuck is it a 50-50 fight when I got live gates? And nigga, I sell out the AT&T Stadium 3 times.
How many I need to know a specific number. How much does AT&T hold?
I got more pay-per-views than you. I bring all the fucking money. It's not 50-50. When you
AT&T Stadium can hold 80,000.
80, nigga, that motherfucker was packed. Nigga, I took a fucking flight from Detroit to Dallas to watch the fight.
That's a lot of motherfuckers in one place.
Come on, man.
80,000 niggas.
That
That's a lot of
motherfucker was
niggas.
packed, nigga. I ain't seen no empty seats in that bitch. Now, individually could have been. I'm talking about like I ain't seen no gaps nowhere. That motherfucker was packed. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Not a 55. Nigga, that shit was like 80-20 or some shit. Like the money splits ain't about who popular, or who think this, who think that. It's the ticket sales.
Errol
It's that
Spence
live
playing
gate.
35,000 niggas.
That's crazy, dog. That's fucking crazy.
35,000.
Fucking crazy.
That's not bad. I mean,
Shit, Tank Davis sells out the Barclay every time he fight. In New York.
yeah.
Like that's fucking like
I'm not mad at them numbers. I mean, that's stout.
niggas just be yapping. Like nigga, I don't even know how good Terrance Crawford and Errol Spence is, to be honest with you, dog. Cause like what's the field that y'all fighting? It ain't like a bunch of killers out here. They are the best 2 at 147 allegedly, right? But like I'll just say 15 years ago when Floyd and Cotto and Shane and shit, old ass Sharman Mitchell, or like when the field of fighters through the 90s and late 2000s and early 2000s was fighting, like I know how good them niggas is. And the field is not as good now as it was then.
It's not enough names.
So when they talk about these niggas on a historical context and with some of the greats names, I like Errol Spence is one of my favorite fighters. I like him.
Tank bought out 19,000 to the Barclays.
Think about that.
Set a record for the arena.
And Errol Spence bring out 35.
In Dallas, bigger arena.
What's the big? How many people that Terrance Crawford bringing out? He's not bringing out 35,000 people.
Oh man,
he didn't have three. Well, I think he had 3 pay-per-view fights. He damn near not touching 100 a pop. That's not talking about his fighting skill because we know he's skilled. But like, nah, my nigga, when it comes to splitting money, I bring the finances. I take the lion's share of the money. When Floyd fought De La Hoya, it was a 70-30 split, if not more. And De La Hoya got the lion's share of the money. He picked the ring. He picked the fight date. He picked the gloves. He picked the weight that they fought at. He picked everything.
Terrance Crawford last fight bought out 11.5.
11.5.
11.5.
Man, Tank Davis sell more tickets than that nigga, dog. And that's not even a diss. But get the fuck out of here. Talking about it, because this is my personal opinion. Terrance Crawford don't want to fight Errol Spence. That's what I actually think.
It's a dangerous fight for him.
I think it looks good to say you want to fight, but when he say it ain't gonna happen unless it's 50-50, you really don't want to fight.
I think that's a boxing thing. Like that's you sell it for the fantasy. But like on the inside, number one, I don't think that's a fight. I think he knows that's a fight he may not win.
Listen, a good big guy beats a good little guy every 9 times out of 10.
And then I'm like you, saying that the fight you wanted 50-50
or it's not happening
is an easy cop out to not have to fight.
Don't price yourself out to fight, my nigga.
That's an easy cop out.
And don't try to make it seem like I've been running from you. Like, yo, everybody's scared of me. I'm calling them out. I'm calling them out. My nigga, I told you a long time ago what I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to clean up the division. I'm going to be undisputed at 147. You clean up your side. I clean up my side. We meet in the middle. I'm going to whoop your ass for the belt. And then I move it to 154. This nigga Earl done did everything he said he was going to do.
Still got to go through Bud.
I went and got belt.
Still got to go through Bud.
No, Bud has to go through him. I'm the big fish. That's what you see him. He having the heart with the shark. Like, nigga, I'm the big fish.
You can't, but you still need me to call yourself the undisputed champ. You still need me.
I don't need you. I don't need you.
It looks good.
I don't need you to validate my shit. I'm already popping.
It looks better.
Because what's going to end up happening is if that shit don't happen, I'm going to beat the fuck up out of a Keith Thurman or somebody and then just go to 154 and clean up that shit. That's literally what's gonna happen. Because once they fight, they both move to 154.
Last time Keith Thurman had a good fight. It's been a minute.
Man, Keith Thurman is the person who benefited the most from when Floyd Mayweather retired.
How so?
Who he beat?
Nobody.
There's only 2 names that all the quote unquote good fighters of today beat. And it's Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. If them the 2 niggas who make your resume for Earl as well as Bud Crawford, them the only 2 names. Who else is on the resume that y'all beat that's so fucking good? And them niggas is not so fucking good.
Nah, they had good spurts. They showed spurts of greatness, but
like in the grand scheme of things, them niggas are just in this era, they just B-level fighters. At best. In the era that we were just talking about, your niggas are getting washed. William Joppy is washing Danny Garcia.
I'm not going to go that far.
You better put some respect on William Joppy's name.
I love William Joppy.
You better put some respect. Washing him. Danny Garcia? Washing him. Washing him. Yes.
I don't.
Tito Trinidad will destroy.
Well, that's different. Trinidad.
Destroy. Vernon Forrest, destroy.
That's different.
I'm willing to bet, I know this gonna sound like I'm trying to be disrespectful to Sean Porter because I'm not. I've learned that what he does is a skill. I don't like it very much. I think he's just a rough and tumble guy who don't got, but what he does is a skill. I don't want to call him unskilled, but that rough and tumble, the nigga from, what's my man from Nicaragua that smoked the cigarettes all the time?
Gotti?
No. that De La Hoya, everybody knocked this nigga out. De La Hoya knocked him out. Ricardo Mayorga.
Yeah, Mayorga. Yeah,
I would love to see because Mayorga can knock niggas out too.
And he that type of fighter.
I don't know. I do not know the answer to who wins Sean Porter versus Mayorga. And Mayorga was like, when I come back from a long layoff, let me fight my Mayorga and get ready. Like, the best names on Errol Spence's resume is Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. The best names on Bud resume is Sean Porter. Then like these are the best. That's why the field is weak to me.
It is.
I don't know. I love them niggas, right? I like their styles. I just don't know for a fact how good they are compared to some of the greats because I don't like them. I don't like y'all talking about them in the same era that y'all, in the same breath that y'all talk about other people, because I don't know.
I think they're like, when you had that GOAT conversation, there's just different tiers of it. You may have been the GOAT in, let's say, the last 10 to 15 years. Now, could you rumble with the best boxers of all time?
I just don't know. And they talk about Terrance Crawford.
But even on a smaller scale, could you rumble with the niggas 25 years,
10 years,
your senior?
Can you 10 years?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Errol Spence. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But who knows?
Yeah.
'Cause
maybe.
I don't know.
And I'm not a
now. Like I don't know that y'all can. I don't know that y'all can rumble with Boots. I know that y'all can, but Boots he Errol Spence 7 years ago, knocking at the door saying, "Yo, give me a shot, give me a shot, give me a shot." When nobody give me a shot, like Earl, would nobody give him a shot for a title? So when I got my title, fuck you niggas. Keith Thurman was telling everybody, "Don't you duck me, son," and he ducked Errol Spence for 5 years.
Yeah.
And now I'm never fighting you.
Cause I don't have to.
Cause when
you're a little nigga. Now you're a little nigga.
You know,
you need me.
Adrian Broner ain't never beat nobody good.
Nah.
He ain't never got hit. There wasn't named opponent. He was like, yo, and he won. Keith Thurman, biggest win is over Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Other than that, like who?
Nobody I can think of.
Everybody keep telling me how Terrance Crawford was undefeated at 140. Who'd you fight at 140? Who is the killer?
The name?
Now I know there were some good fighters there, but them niggas not some all-time greats. Them not like some Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers about to go down.
They not niggas you just gonna run through. You know what I'm saying? They might push you 6-7 rounds. We still know he gonna win, but like I'm with you. There's not,
and I don't want to diminish like that, because
I don't want to diminish it, but there's no big names in the division.
For y'all to have that as the linchpin of why y'all hold him in such high regard, and that's why it should be a 50-50 fight, because he was undisputed at 140 because he fought all the killers at 140. It ain't a bunch of killers.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of good fighters. Victor Postal is a good fighter, but Victor Postal ain't going down as the best nothing. Like, you can't get your whole career can't be made off of you beating niggas that was alright.
But if that's all that's individual, I mean, you can only fight the competition.
You know, you can listen. I want to see them dudes fight. If Terrance Crawford keeps the position that if we not fighting unless it's 50-50, I think you pricing yourself out of the fight because you don't want to take this L. You done talk all this shit all these years, and now when it's time to fight, you acting like you don't want to fight now.
It's a negotiation. The man feel he worth what he worth. For
sure, and that's not happening though. Because in real life, I'm worth what I'm worth. You, Terrance Crawford, when you could have had a fight and come on a quote unquote the right side of the street, you re-signed with Main Events. You re-signed with Bob Arum. Like, why would you re-sign with Bob Arum? Now, currently his contract is over, but like 4 years ago, why did you re-sign with Bob Arum when you already know how the whole Mayweather, Al Heyman, and how that shit, like, why would you sign with them again?
Because he want to be the Mayweather on his promotion. He want to be the top
Errol
dog.
Spence don't got no promotion company. It's his own promotion company. I'm a free agent. I'm not tied down to nobody. My advisor is Al Heyman, but nigga, start your own fucking company. Like, I don't understand. This shit it's not that difficult. It's not difficult to understand these days.
Not everybody's an independent artist. Some niggas need a label.
Hey, and
When you independent, you gotta hustle a little bit different. Some niggas need the machine backing them.
It's a hard sport, my nigga. And that's a hard man. He been shot like 7 times. Like that nigga's like, nigga, you done went through shit in your life. Don't get to this level and be like, nah, I need somebody to hold my hand. No, my nigga.
Or I just
if I'm not mistaken, didn't he get shot and rolled up in a carpet or some shit? Like they left the nigga for dead.
They were trying to kill him. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Terrance Crawford is not, I don't want you to get the wrong idea as if I'm trying to disparage his skills, not you per se, but listeners. Yeah. Like, oh, he can fight. He can fight his ass off, right? I just don't know how good those two are in the pantheon of great fighters because this field that we in right now is so weak. My eye test says, yeah, he got skills.
I think 70-30 is where the fight should be. I think on a business level, they'll settle 65-35. If I was a betting man, that's where I'll put my money, 65-35.
We'll see. In any event, man, let's get started.
All right.